You know that feeling when you do a really tough workout, like a sprint or max out squats or something, and your muscles just start like burning? Do you know what causes that? Well, I'll tell you what doesn't cause it. Lactic acid. In fact, lactic acid can't really exist inside the human body. You see, it has a pKa value of 3.86, which means that at our normal physiological pH of like 7.4, it completely dissociates. It gives away all of its hydrogen ions and exists in its base form, lactate. And we can actually blame Louis Pasteur and a couple of Nobel Prize-winning biochemists for this bit of misinformation. You see, he saw that when you deprived yeast of oxygen, they produce lactic acid, and so obviously the same thing happens in humans. And because you can test for lactate in the blood, the natural assumption was that lactic acid was the precursor and lactate was, of course, the waste product. But now we know that lactate is actually a useful byproduct of glycolysis and very important for energy production, not a waste product at all. And that burning, that's coming from the acidic environment created by splitting ATP into ADP, which of course frees up a hydrogen ion. But lactic acid, not a thing. Never been a thing. And even though we've known this for like 40 years, people still get it wrong. Coaches and experts still pass along bad information. Sports announcers still say it. And I know, unlearning is hard. It's hard to hear that something that you thought was true isn't. It's human to hold on to things that confirm our bias and what we want to believe. Even now, some people are like, what about lactic acidosis or lactic acid blood tests? Those are a thing. They are. And the measurement is lactate, not lactic acid. Not the same thing. So really, it's just like a nomenclature problem. The point of this is to share some neat information about lactic acid that you can go tell your friends. They'll think you're really cool, but also to highlight how sometimes what we think we know may not be entirely accurate, especially when it comes to exercise and nutrition, and the way that information is shared about those two things, which is a lot like a game of telephone. So when you hear something that challenges what you've been led to believe, don't immediately dismiss it. Stay curious, because you may learn something useful, like how carbs are actually good for you, or like how elevated blood sugar after you eat something is totally normal and not something to be afraid of.